Is a quantity surveyor just an accountant in a hi-vis jacket? It's a fair question, and if you're new to the field or you're trying to explain to your mates what you do, what you actually do for a living, you might get that question. Um, it's a fair question. But if you do think that a quantity surveyor is just an accountant, that's not true. Quantity surveyors don't just sit behind a computer screen all day. They do go out on field. They're not just recording what's being spent, they're actually helping shape what's getting built. All right. So, section one of this video, we're going to go through the similarities. So, let's look at the similarities. So, like an accountant, quantity surveyor will manage the budgets, the cash flow, they'll do financial reporting, and they'll do forecasting. So, these are some of the common, like, desk-based quantity surveyor tasks. And while it might sound a bit boring, these tasks are often critical when it comes to final accounts or any disputes or claims that may arise. And I'll explain why a bit later on in this video. So, quantity surveyors and accountants do have a lot of things in common, but that's only one side of the story. So there are some QSs who actually don't go out on site. Their whole job maybe revolve around pre-construction and post-construction. Quantity surveyors who work like this, you can say, people might just say, yeah, they're just construction accountants, etc. But here's where things can actually change. Quantity surveyors are embedded throughout the construction life cycle. So they're there before any spade is put into the ground, before any brick is laid, by influencing the procurement strategy and which contract is selected. So in the UK, the quantity surveyor will have an influence on whether you're going to use the NEC3 or the JCT, and then within the NEC, they'll have a say in whether we're using option A, option B, option C, or option D. During construction, quantity surveyors are tracking variations, they're measuring works, they're leading commercial meetings, etc. And then at closeout, when it comes to final account, we're defending the margins. We're making sure that every pound spent has been accounted for and justified. Essentially, accountants kind of record the outcome, but quantity surveyors record the outcome, record what's going on in the project. But they also have the power to influence what's going on in real time on site on the project. So every variation we price, every clause we negotiate, every payment that's certified, it all affects the live construction project. It affects the live commercial position of the project. So we're not just dealing with numbers, we're dealing with people, deadlines, risks, uncertainty, and just 101 moving parts. Also, the quantity surveyor is often the only person in the room with both the technical insight and the commercial understanding. So I mean, you got to understand both to really make a difference and be good. So when something looks off, sometimes they're the only ones that can really spot it and understand what's going on. Later on in this video, I'm going to share with you kind of like a mindset shift that helped me deal with project managers who like constantly push back on every valuation that you give them. And I'll share with you later and how you can use that same mindset. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the tech and software differences as well between accountants and quantity surveyors. So accountancy is built around like standardized software and tools like Sage, Xerox or Xero, I think it's called, and like QuickBooks, etc. QSs, on the other hand, we use tools like Bluebeam for digital takeoff, Cato or CostX for cost planning. Also, we use like the NEC, JCT contracts, and then like online platforms like CMA and Cypro that help manage these contracts during the live project. And increasingly now, there's loads of AI tools as well that can help you with your job. So QSs are kind of blending commercial awareness with digital skills, and the gap between the QS who knows these tools and the ones who don't is starting to widen really fast. Is a QS like an accountant? Well, a QS is like an accountant. If an accountant could also interpret drawings, value work in progress, forecast margin erosion, for example, and control risk live on site. So about those desk-based QS tasks that I mentioned earlier in the video, these tasks are critical tasks for QSs to do, because the QSs that do these tasks are often the go-to people when disputes arise, because they've documented every single change and forecast along the way, so they can help literally win or lose, a final account argument. And the PM pushback mindset that I spoke about, for PMs that push back on every valuation, you just got to stop reacting emotionally, instead ask for clarity. When a PM pushes back on your valuation, especially when they think you've undervalued their work, the key is to just not get defensive. There's no point in getting defensive. Instead, you can say something along the lines of, there's no point in saying like, no, this is it, just deal with it. And I always find the best thing to do is just ask a question. So you can be like, can you walk me through what you feel I've missed? Is a good line to use. That single phrase is what I used to handle any sort of like difficult PMs or commercial conversations. And what it does is it puts the pressure on them, puts the pressure on the PM or whoever's challenging to justify their position, whilst also keeping the tone collaborative and open. So you're not giving ground when you're doing this, you're just inviting like more clarity into the conversation. All right, so in my next video over here, you should see it somewhere around here, I give 5 specific ways in which you can go from a junior QS into a senior QS. So if you want to speed out your progression into becoming a senior QS, you want to earn more money and actually be doing higher value tasks and not just the general admin tasks that a lot of junior QSs are stuck doing, watch the video, click the link somewhere here. Subscribe now, leave a comment, let me know what you think the biggest difference is between an accountant and a QS.